Hello, hello, everybody. We are live with the Aftershock, aka the Aftermath. There's been so much hype over this eclipse, and I get it. 20 years later, we get the eclipse. And another one is not going to happen until 2024 now. So I get it. I get the hype. And honestly, I had to be somewhere today in the morning. And somebody was late, actually over an hour late, because somebody else got into a car accident. So, I mean, car accidents, they happen every day, okay? It's not like I'm saying car accidents never happen, but I'm just saying, my sister saw this accident happening for her and I so many times. Just people just straight up just threatening your life, trying to say that they want to take something away from you and blah, blah, blah. And now I kind of feel like going to be the opposite. What's going on, Irene? I've seen all of your emails, okay? I didn't respond to all of them, but I watched all your videos, buddy. Eyes did. I've got just a wee bit of time. So I'm going to pick up the Aftershock, the Aftermath. There was, honestly, I did the most incredible fucking magic yesterday during the eclipse, and I didn't even know it was eclipsing. Oh my God, I thought the eclipse was already over, and I did this fucking magic, and oh my God, Irene, okay, you wouldn't even believe how much my fucking divine timing kicked in to the eclipse yesterday. I had a fucking day, I definitely a day to remember, okay? There was some shit that happened in my day yesterday that I am going to remember probably for the rest of my life. I kissed a mechanic who got my car started. Oh my God. And okay, I had to pay $300. And then this mechanic just came out of nowhere and fucking saved my car. It had nothing to do. How my sister and I share, we share her car basically. And oh man, I spent $300 on this new key yesterday for it because the key was over 20 years old. And I just figured maybe it wasn't reading the chip anymore. Tell me how the $300 key did nothing. And then this mechanic with his fucking Tim Hortons coffee just comes out of nowhere and he's like, can I look at your car for a second? And my sister's just off having a cigarette fucking powwow by herself because she's so stressed out. Everybody keeps saying how much. I have so many people want to take her car away. She's had this car now for over 10 years. She was married when she got it. Her own husband, she was in school at the time. Her own husband made her buy her own car, put it on her line of credit. Okay, there's even a recall. Okay, there's a recall on this vehicle. We won't take it in for the recall because if it doesn't pass, the car comes off the road instantly, and we can't afford to get a new one right now. So this fucking mechanic comes out of nowhere with his fucking Tim Hortons and his coffee in his hand, right, with his fucking cigarette. And he's like, can I just sit in the driver's seat for a second? Something was just bothering him. I don't know if it was two women distressed about their car and he just couldn't let it go. And he got this thing fucking started so fast. And I jumped him. I fucking wrapped my arms around him. I kissed him. Oh, he showed me this trick on how to get the car started now. Because I just really don't want to put $2,000 into it because I don't think it's going to last very much longer. Oh my God, my eclipse day, let me tell you, was fucking crazy. We got fucking stranded, had the worst lunch ever. Our waitress was in my sister's dreams. It was fucked. Okay, but you know what? I paid $300 for a key that didn't work, but I got the technician that showed me how to fix the problem for free. Honestly, when stuff like that happens, I don't even care. I don't care sometimes if things don't work that you go out and buy. Sometimes it's just you got to be around somebody at that time that's going to give you the answer to something. They were trying to say that this part that it wasn't even necessary for the car was going to cost over $2,000. $800 for the labor, $1,200 for the part. Like, I fucking couldn't believe it. And then, you know, it was so set up by the universe. It was so set up by the universe. You don't understand, Irene, okay? It was so set up that this other guy who was right in front of us, okay, getting his car looked at first, his bill, $2,000. He walks out of there and he's talking on the phone. He's this gay guy. He's like, they're fucking telling me that it's going to cost me $2,000. And I'm like, oh, okay. So all I heard was $2,000. And then what was the bill for my car? $2,000. I'm like, okay, Honda, like, who the fuck is doing this? Irene, thank you. Kicking these idiots out of the chat right away, right? Holy fuck, what is going on? Look, we've been flagged automatically, Irene. We have been flagged right away, okay? So anyways, a whole story short, we end up being able to watch the eclipse on TV because we're still in the dealership. We go and we get fucking lunch at this restaurant because now we're starving. We've been waiting all day just to get our car started. Okay. Oh my God. Like, what a fucking day. And we got all the answers. I fucking put a spell up the second the eclipse was happening. Okay. The sky went black as I was sending this fucking spell back to this bitch who's been fucking with my sister and I. And Courtney's like, the sky's black. The sky's black. As I'm sending this fucking shit up through my phone, and I had this tiny little window to send this curse back to this bitch. And I sent it at the exact moment of the eclipse. Oh my God, Irene, you wouldn't believe what happened yesterday, okay? Like, holy shit, my life fucking like almost flashed before my eyes. And then I find like the love of my life on the internet who I haven't seen in so long. I'm trying to get a hold of him. I don't think I think he's married now, but I couldn't believe I found him yesterday. Finally, after looking for him for 7 years, I finally found him. Like, what is happening? Oh yeah. And then I get fucking where I need to go for this appointment today. And fucking everybody's over an hour late because of a car accident. Like, what is happening? Like, talk about the aftermath, okay? I left my fucking pipe in the car. I gotta fucking suck up. Look at this. It might as well be a fucking dildo. It's so big. So. Oh, you know it. You know that that's what happened. It's easy fucking portal opening. Like, I don't know what happened yesterday, but man, was the universe ever fucking happy afterwards. Like, whew. I got a lot of affirmations about how happy it was. And then I went outside today. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know if it's like that over on the West Coast, but I noticed today, like, the weather is different. Like, outside is different. Like, things just feel different today. It's really weird. I even told Courtney to, like, get outside because I took the car on her today, and I told her, I was like, man, just walk to the store or something. Like, go. She's outside now. I was like, man, go outside. Like, there's something fucking weird with outside right now. I don't really know what it is, but it's intense, okay? Intense. Okay. I'm getting a little bit of like a mixed message on the cards that want to be used today. Anybody else in the house? Oh, dude, it's just you and me, Irene. You and me, Irene. For the live. Okay, I want to see what is the header. Oh, yeah, I got to do the dice, too. Let's see. What's the header? What's the aftershock header of this whole thing? Let's see what comes out. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to take the card closest to me. Obedience. Justice, from the looks of it, is taken. Whoa. Okay, I've been adding this card here to stop the reflection from the window from coming in. I've never, okay, so a lot of times I do see my own reflection in the crystal ball, but I've never seen it like this. It was, my whole neck was like distorted, like really long neck. And actually, I was talking to a woman today who had a giraffe tattoo. Long neck. Long neck. Invisible Oath. Grove. Summon. The choices. High Priestess of Spirit. I like that. With High Priestess of Earth. Woo! And the moon on the bottom, and the moon on the bottom. You know that shit. This is the aftermath. We gotta let go. Okay, and a High Priestess of Air. Okay, so we also do have Deceit, and that's where I'm gonna stop it. Okay, so we got a little bit more of the aftermath coming out. Hey, who is that? Heather. Heather, perfect timing. We're just getting into it. I know it's been 12 minutes live, but it's only because it's been me and Irene. Me and Irene talking. Okay. Okay. Three high priestesses with the moon. Earth, air, and spirit. And it kind of makes sense because everything that's going on right now is all in the air. But we're feeling it on earth and through spirit. So it kind of makes sense why those three high priestesses came out, because we're summoning the energy of the moon. Oh, yeah. Okay. And the dice. See, the dice didn't even let me forget them. Like, the dice want to be more a part of these readings than I ever thought possible. Like, I never thought I would even like these fortune dice at all. And now they can't shut up. Okay, so we got Neptune. No, that's not Neptune. That's Uranus. My sister told me yesterday when I was sending up that magic through the eclipse, she told me she saw Uranus come through me. She was like, you were channeling, and you know, I've been telling you guys, my sister has been studying like astrology, big time, like all the math involved, she's been doing, okay? And because of that, actually is one of the reasons why I got the dice, so she can use the dice as well, right? And she can play around the dice as well. We got Taurus energy here with the 6th house, okay? And she said majority of this eclipse has actually happened in the 9th house, okay? And the 9th house would be the 6th house reversed, okay? And the 6th house is the work and routine, work environment, daily routine, our behaviors towards others, okay, that we work with, our body care, how we take care of ourselves, okay, how we take care of other people that we work with, okay? It's the house of health. And that's what's been coming up, okay? The 6th and the 9th house have been coming up fucking religiously through this whole, last like maybe 10 or 11 days now? Because the 9th house is the 9th house of purpose. That's the Sagittarius, right? These long-term goals. People, what they've been doing is they have been interfering with long-term goals and lying on behalf of those goals. So taking corrupt contracts around other people. So really the reason why we've got justice here is because Libra's teamed up with this whole eclipse, which I got a message that this started happening in October. Okay, it was almost like Spirit was starting to take count of everything. Oh my God, it's like I just went into a tunnel. Something just really happened in my right ear, okay? And maybe this is Taurus energy. Holy shit, that's strong. What the fuck? House of value. How you value yourself, how you value your relationships. Uranus, sudden inspiration, lightning instincts. Okay. Using the internet. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Remember, okay, so I mentioned that yesterday I put something up when the eclipse happened that I was specifically under. Okay, as soon as the moon covered the sun, I started a spell that I didn't even fucking know I was doing. Okay, I didn't know what I was doing. And that's the best kind of magic, is like when you have no idea what you're doing, you're just doing it because you're getting told by Uranus. That's why my sister said she saw Uranus come through me. She said the way that, I don't know, this whole like black scene happened behind me because everything went black and there was a window behind me and there was all these Christmas lights hanging, and she was like, Uranus like came into me. She said, that's all she said. And Uranus is ruled by Aquarius, by the house of Aquarius, and I'm double Aquarius. Okay. So the reason why Uranus comes through Aquarians very easily, it gives you that boost to do things, right? Those random incantations that you do in the daytime, sometimes when you go and you attack somebody, that's Uranus coming to you and helping you get something out of you, okay? Because it happens lightning fast. Uranus likes you to do things super quick, right? Because it's been things that you've been thinking about for a while or that you want to do, and then suddenly Uranus gives you that energy and poof, you will knock a motherfucker's socks off their feet with what you could say to somebody to destroy their fucking life. Okay, Uranus is the kind of energy that will make you say something that, you know, when they say like, you know, I know that like what fists can do, but words can cut fucking deeper than that. Like you say something to somebody and they can remember for the rest of their life, right? Because that's what the power of words. Yeah, the power of words, the power of the moon, the power of the ability to hide those words from you for so long until they come screaming out of you, which is Uranus, right? Hide, and then poof, Uranus puts that light on you for that split second that node comes into your first house or into your house of communication, which would be your third house of Gemini. Well, okay, well, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. House of communication also run by Mercury energy and Taurus. Oh my God. See, that card just went down. So this is Taurus. So Taurus is giving us the ability to communicate this message, right? It's giving us the ability to communicate, Uranus to communicate with you to get things out, okay? Obviously, when Uranus and Mercury come close together, that's when people start to spin out, right? Because they start saying these things that they've been wanting to say for so long, but they're hiding back for these simplicity reasons that they don't really understand why. And those reasons are actually blocking them from getting forward. So Uranus blasts you through it, almost like you know, I'm getting like Armageddon when they put with the nuke, you know, like it's almost like they just blast you forward because there's this rock in front of you, or you're this rock, and it helps you to destroy it. Okay. But the whole part of using this energy is to be able to let go. You have to let go of things, right? You have to let go of people. You have to let go of energy. You have to allow things to come back to you. Let them go, right? And see if they come back, because to try to force yourself and force energy and force people to be around you and force this and force that, then you really don't know, like, do people even fucking want me around? Like, am I even liked in this crew? Like, just because one person likes me, I'm kind of feeling like maybe everybody hates me. Maybe I should just back off and see if they say something to me, see if they adjust, you know, if they approach me. Right? If they say something to me, because that's the thing, is like somebody is looking at this let go with choices, because honestly, deceit is staring at them. So this is how it looks on my desk. Okay. So deceit is what, oh my gosh, look at the hands almost line up, eh? If that black wasn't there, that's almost lined up. Like deceit is trying, maybe it's like, I'm trying to decipher the message. It's kind of, I'm almost feeling, now that I can kind of see her arm extended into that, I'm kind of seeing deceit is almost putting things in front of you. It's releasing things in front of you. And it's letting all these choices come through. And that's the thing is anybody can choose to cheat in their relationship. Anybody can choose to steal from their work with all that money sitting there, right? It's that, are you going to do it or are you not going to do it? And what it's enticing you with this really nasty energy, and it's justice. So you might have been recently put through like a test, and they're like, is she going to steal it? Is she going to take it? Is she going to pass it on? Right? Is she going to pay it forward? Is it a lost item? You know, are we going to wait for the owner, or is somebody just going to say, well, no one's ever going to show up, so I'm just going to take it, right? Are you going to be greedy with something? I kind of feel like, because I think there was an invisible oath made. And I think that that's what this whole thing is about. And it was this whole eclipse is about, right? You're seeing higher than it. You're seeing above it, right? Because you did make an oath, an invisible oath. And I think that oath involved not fucking over the universe. You know, almost as simple as that. Like, you don't run over wildlife. You feed birds. You respect the land, right? Stuff that's simple like that. You made an oath, and you stuck with it. No matter what they tried to do, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the whole, you know, good side and bad side here on the between the crystal balls. It's like, you know, the universe could have been really dangling you to do the wrong thing, and you still did the right thing because you grounded that oath. And that's what that's what I've been trying to like explain to myself, explain to this channel, explain to my sister while we're going through this bullshit. Like, you ask somebody a question and they lie, right? But you choose to stick to the truth. Right? You choose to stick to the truth, and they try to get you out of that. You know, they try to mess with you, and they try to do things to you to turn you sour and to turn you against and to turn you, you know, and you still, no matter what, won't take those choices. Honestly, it's literally coming down to like, I'm seeing like child trafficking. Like, honestly, like being done right in front of you, and these people being like, well, everybody does this, you know, everybody fucks over little kids and everybody abuses, like, just jump on the bandwagon with us and do whatever you want. No one's watching, you know, no one's going to believe this kid. Everyone's going to believe you. You're the adult. You're the powerful one. People, you know, kids lie. And it's so disgusting, because the thing is that everybody gets taunted with breaking the law. Everybody, okay? Even as petty as simple little 5-finger discounts at the fucking variety store, okay? Like, everybody can be tempted to steal. Everybody can be tempted to break the law. But are we all doing it? No. Like, but are some people doing it? Yeah. Right? But not all of us. But the ones who are doing it are trying to say all of us are doing it. Like, no, we're not. Fuck you. Like, just because somebody thinks it doesn't mean that they did it. And just because it's there for you to take, it doesn't mean people do. So the way that I see this has been like a light and a dark. I mean, when is the last time in history that a moon eclipse has been this close to a sun eclipse? Like, what the fucking fuck? How did that happen? Like, so this was this little window to be like, you know, this was going to be a quick kind of, we got to split people quick. Right? And that's how the universe decided to do it. They gave themselves 7-8 days in the middle and just said, whatever we get done, we get done. And whoever's left over, well, I guess it's their lucky day and they're going to get figured out in a couple of weeks when this happens, right? Like there's always, the universe always creates a window. And yesterday there was a fucking window open, bud. Window open, okay? And it was intense. And let me tell you, I don't want to be on the bad side of that. I've seen what happens to the bad people on the bad side of that shit. And you can't test me anymore. Like, I mean, the universal tests sometimes are so funny. It's so like, really? This is like juvenile, right? Because it is juvenile. Even to steal. That shit's juvenile. What are you, fucking 12, 13? Like, why would you ever fucking steal? It just doesn't make sense. But so many people do. And you know what's so fucking weird? Now this is coming to me. So I dated this guy for a long time, right? Most toxic fucking relationship in my life. Finally break up with him. Okay, we break, we part ways, blah, blah, blah. I start dating somebody else in town. Okay, 15 years ago, like, towns were different. Okay, I don't know what happened. Okay, I don't know what happened, but anyways, everybody knew everybody in this town. And it was like it was a decent size town / city, okay? Like, it wasn't small, but people knew each other. And he found out that I was dating this guy pretty quick. But guess what? He fucking cheated on me and then knocked that bitch up and fucking asked her to marry him, like, within the first month of them dating. And me and him had dated for like 4 or 5 years on and off. So clearly she was a rebound, okay? I really wasn't broken up about it. It took me actually a couple months to date somebody. And once I finally did date, so yeah, it was like 5 or 6 months before I started dating somebody. And the guy I started dating, tell me how, okay, my ex-boyfriend, him and his brother, their names are Shane and Cody, okay? Shane and Cody wanted to start a tree company, and which was always their goal or whatever, right? But they just didn't have the money. Tell me how they didn't call my boyfriend up at the time and ask him to go and steal this piece of equipment for them. They were going to pay him like $500, I think. They wanted him to steal a wood chipper, and they were going to give him $500. And Adrian comes home. We were basically living together at that point. And he comes home and he goes, "You'll never guess who called me today." And I'm like, "Who?" And he goes, "Shane." I'm like, "Why the fuck did Shane call you?" And he goes, him and Cody were on the phone and they want me to go and steal this. Like, obviously they had passed this property in the boons where a man had a wood chipper that was kind of left out and no one was really watching it. And I go, so he tells me like the small little buck town it's sitting in, like 45 minutes away or something. And he said, he'll give me $500 to do it. And I go, "You're not actually fucking thinking about doing it, right?" Like, he was a little bit shady, obviously. I didn't date the greatest guys back in the day. And I go, like, "Are you going to fucking take this money? Are you going to do it?" And he was contemplating it. And I mean, because he knew guys back then that could get that shit done really quick, right? Like, guys with pickup trucks make things disappear fast, right? So, like, we sit on it for the night, and, like, it's not really sitting with me well. And I mean, Adrian was kind of a thief. So I was like, like, I was fucking like 26 years old or something. Adrian had already been to jail before. So, like, I was like, you just make your decision on what you want. And then obviously he decided he wasn't going to do it. And he's like, "I really think he's trying to set me up." And when I went back to that moment about 10 years later, I said to myself, my God, did they ever try to get him arrested so then he wasn't going to date me anymore? Like, and then when I said that to somebody, I remember sitting with somebody and telling them that story. Like, again, this was like 10 years later, and me being like, for some reason, because they knew Shane and Cody, like, they knew everybody from that town. And I was like, for some reason, I feel like they were really trying to set him up to go and take this so then he'd go to jail. And I never saw it that way before. But honestly, I think Adrian was smart enough to know where he was getting set up with something and he wasn't going to take the money. I just didn't see it as a jealous ex coming back to try to take my new boyfriend away from me. Right, because Shane was like that. Shane was very abusive. Shane beat his dog to death. You know, like he did he threatened to kill me one night. You know, the things that Shane did. Like Shane was an awful person, and the fact that I was dating somebody that was so close to him and so close to where he grew up in his environment, he felt really threatened by that. For a guy that barely showed he cared about me, for some reason, he always got violent when I didn't want to be around. Like when you don't care, why do you care? But then they don't care, but then they throw this fucking hissy fit when you try to go. And it kind of sparked my tickle, obviously, with this reading, because it's like, you know, you could have been put through a test where it was literally somebody else trying to set you up. So then they got their boyfriend back again. So then they got their old girlfriend back again, right? As simple as that. Like, you know, you break up and you part ways for a fucking reason. Like, and then other people get their opportunity. And actually, I was wondering if this was going to come up because I've seen The Office a million times, but I always watch it again. And I was in season 9 and it was Roy's wedding, and he invites Pam to go, and Pam is his ex-girlfriend. Actually, they were engaged, and Pam brings her new husband Jim. They all work together, okay, just like this, all small little town, okay. And Jim goes to Roy after the wedding, like, you know, thanks so much for inviting us. Like, you know, I understand, like, Pam, like, you could have married Pam, and now I'm married to Pam, and you were going to marry Pam, but now you're married to Laura. And he's like, honestly, he's like, I owe you everything. And Jim kind of went like, what do you mean? And he goes, well, if it wasn't for you marrying Pam, I would have never met Laura, because Roy didn't want to give up on Pam. But then Pam fell for Jim, and then Jim married Pam because Jim wasn't scared of marriage. Jim wasn't scared to walk down the aisle. Jim wasn't scared to make a commitment, right? But Roy was. And because Roy was scared at that exact moment, Pam found somebody else. And then Roy thanked Pam for leaving to begin with, because then he found who he really truly wanted, right? So with how the universe works, honestly, if you put out to the universe, I really want a good relationship. I want something that means something. I want to break the mold. I don't just want to be with somebody to be with somebody. I don't just want to be with somebody because it's comfortable for me. I'm either going to be with somebody because I actually want to be with them, or, right, it's like changing your perception on relationships and like your level on relationships and your drive. Like I used to be super needy in relationships because I didn't have kids and I didn't have anything for myself. So in a relationship, fucking right, you better have put me on your fucking pedestal right away because I got nothing else going on. But now that I've got my channel, my work, my personal readings, I've got life, I've got gifts, I've got clay, I've got jewelry, I've got painting, I've got so many things now that I do with my life, right? That I don't, a relationship to me now is kind of like, well, you know, I actually saw me in a relationship where the guy's like never home and like we see each other once a day, and I'm like, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with that. I have so much to do every day, surprisingly, okay, that I don't really have time to, like, date. I don't have time to go on dates. I don't have time to put all this energy into something. I want to, right? You know, you got the beginning parts of it, but then afterwards, it's like, I don't need somebody that's like on my ass all the time. Like the way that I see my stepmother and my father is, it's awful, okay? She can't be away from him. It's so clingy. It's so narcissistic. It's so unhealthy that I'm like, my dad, she smothers him. And he likes that. But then he lives this whole other secret life too, right? When she finally lets him out of the house, you know, he goes and buys things he's not supposed to, and he goes and eats places he's not supposed to. And my father acts like a child. He really does. He doesn't tell his wife about anything. And that to me is an abusive relationship, when you have to hide things, right? I don't care if you go out for lunch. Really, why do you have to hide the bill? Like, you go out, you go out. It's not my fucking money. It's your money. Like, you know, but she also, you know, my stepmother she used to be a banker. So she thinks she knows everything, right? She thinks she knows fucking everything. And if you cross that line with her and she knows more about something, she won't fucking listen to you, because she'll never expand herself into listening beyond what she knows on somebody who's younger than her. The way that she sees it, anybody that's younger than her is stupider than her. She needs to educate the younger. She won't listen to anything. Okay. And I think that maybe that's, you know, hopefully my stepmother and all those nasty people that you know in your life were dangled those things of deceit and actually went through with it. Right? Because honestly, this side of obedience, okay, this side of it, okay, they had all of these choices with deceit, all these parts where the devil came out and just dangled shit in front of them. Guess what? They got the high priestess of air and spirit. So they were watching through spirit, right? So that means that they were jumping into people, right? They were jumping into animals. They were jumping into people. They were jumping into eyes, into cameras, okay, to watch what the devil was going to taunt people with. Okay. And then there's the high priestess of spirit. She's listening to everything. She's listening to the wind. The wind is what's going to carry the message forward, right? Obviously, the wind works in very mysterious ways. Okay. And when she carries a message, she carries the message of truth because she heard it. This isn't a heard it through the grapevine. This is literally like the wind heard it. The wind. Okay? Because spirit was watching it. Right? So these and that's what this has been what the eclipse summoned. It summoned, okay, the truth. It summoned Uranus. And I think that why Uranus is so powerful during this eclipse is Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius is that connection. Aquarius is the connection with earth and spirit. That would be the common denominator. Okay, so Uranus was able to ground the energy and make people do those freakouts, okay, and have those spaz out moments, right? Have the spaz out moments that needed to be captured by witnesses. Okay, so I think that's why you know, the people who are on this part of the moon, right? This part of everything that they say is actually what is being grounded, right? They're showing, okay? They made the oath and they stuck with it. They made the oath and they stuck with it. Yeah, there's the eclipse right there. I just saw it again. Man, it just keeps showing itself through the crystal ball. Oh, there's the third eye sign. You know that sign that's like the palm hand and then the third eye's in the middle? That's what I can see. So this was a lot of evil eye work, a lot of throwing things back. And then while we were throwing those things back, Uranus picked the ball up and threw it in their face and was like, I'm going to make you lose it today, motherfucker. And it actually worked, right? It worked. So for anybody that was wondering, is this person's true colors ever going to shine? Are they ever going to show the world what they only leave and show me? They showed it to everybody. I mean, at least to the people that it mattered, needed to see it, you know? I can see a lot of books, like a lot of books on a shelf. So I'm guessing that during this whole experience, okay, people have gained a lot of knowledge. Okay, there's been a lot of knowledge here. Okay. Because of these portals that came in. Oh, you know what I just saw? I just saw a putter, you know, for golf. So weird. But I do feel like, you know, golf season is starting almost. Okay, almost. So I feel like this is the new beginning. Okay, I also can see a silhouette of the Mothman in the ball, in the crystal ball right now. So honestly, I think what happened is a lot of prophecies came true. I think a lot of tarot readers were dead on with their readings. I haven't watched personally too many. I think I've only watched two. I didn't even fully get through the videos. I have not had a lot of time recently, so I really haven't been watching. But I know my sister's been watching, and she's been paying a lot of attention to what people have been saying, and I know that the right message has got out. And I'm very proud of that because this was a huge move. Like what the universe just set up was like Mothman prophecies. Like this is shit that people were warned about. This was shit that literally came to their door. Like, you know, in that movie, now I'm getting the kid who when the Mothman shows up, he's fooling around with his girlfriend in the car, and the Mothman burns his eyes, and then they don't heal properly. And I think he did that, right? Why the Mothman did that, why Indra did that, was because he needed to see something. And he didn't see it. And he was sitting there on the bridge cranking music, and he didn't see what he was supposed to see. I think the whole reason why he burned his eyes was that's you were supposed to use your vision, you know, just like how the sheriff got the vision of wake up number 37. What do you think that means? Well, it's because 36 people died and she was number 37, right? But the prophecy changed because Richard Gere showed up. I haven't watched that. You know, I've been thinking about the Mothman for a while now. It's one of my favorite movies to watch, that and Fallen. Mothman, Fallen, hi, Chris. Yeah, Mothman and Fallen. Oh, and Donnie Darko. Those are like my three go-to movies for understanding energy, demons, and schizophrenia. Those are great movies to watch, especially if you just open up your third eye and all this shit's like coming at you and stuff, and you just have no idea what's going on. Those three movies, wow, they are my go-to movies for sure. The lessons Fallen alone will teach you about the devil. And that's really like, I mean, learning that he is out there and he is very much visible in everybody will teach you how to deal with this life. Okay, that's all I gotta say. It's fucking creepy. Yeah, and back to the giraffe thing, because I'm getting this really long neck again. I am getting the fact that it's like you ET'd, you stretched your neck up and you saw over something. And that is so awesome because you saw the taintment for what it was. You saw the lure for what it was, right? Whereas these other people, right, they think that it's the universe owes them, like they think that they're being handed this because they're being rewarded and they deserve it. And whereas the honest and innocent kind of people, they will look at something being tempted and being lured in front of their face and go, okay, you need to show me what's behind that because I'm not just going to be lured down a dark alley. Okay. I'm not just going to be lured into your second house of bullshit. Okay. Of your self-worth. Yeah, exactly. Wow. All right. Let's see here. Ooh, look what landed on obedience. This is so cool. This is how awesome you guys are. See? Look at this. Same old G, still DRE, landed on obedience. So what that tells me is you stayed the same. You don't steal, you don't break the law, and no matter how much somebody can tempt you, you are going to stay the same original gangsta you've always been, and they can tempt you and taunt you all they want. You don't give a fuck. This means more to you than this. Okay? And that's why you're watching me. Right? Look at that. Transformation really wanted to come out. Okay? It really was like, Whitney, show us. Okay? And because a lot of this has been about people being in repair. Okay? They know that they can do the wrong thing. They know they can take the easy way. You know that you can go and steal from the corner store and you probably won't get caught. You know that you can slip some shit in your pocket and the cameras aren't going to see you, but it doesn't mean that you're going to do it. Okay. And you know that you can probably steal a couple thousand from here or steal somebody this and put it in a pawn shop and get a couple thousand for this, or a couple hundred. But then where's the next couple hundred come from? Where's the next couple thousand come from? Right. It's like these quick, easy fixes. That's what the devil gives. It's not long-term things, but they're trying to turn these selfish moves into long-term goals because they put it under the 9th house. They shot it under Sagittarius energy. They used the devil. That's what they did. Because the devil energy is so close to Sagittarius, they're side by side. So that means that Sagittarians went into the devil energy and like hid in the devil energy and started like shooting off their fucking arrows at people, hiding in the devil's energy, acting like they are the devil, acting like the way that they act is deceitful, and you still didn't do anything. It still didn't rev you up. It still didn't do anything to you because it's child's play at this point. It's thou shalt not steal. End of discussion. Stop taunting it in front of me. It doesn't matter what it is. It's never going to be stolen by my hands, right? But because these people are so needy and like, honestly, look at our chat. Our chat is just being attacked right now, left, right, and center. And like, thank you, Irene. I'm pretty sure it's Irene doing it. Oh, Irene, you're the best. Mwah. I send that just for Irene. You are the best. You are the best friend a girl can ever ask for. I asked Irene to have my back, and she fucking had my back. She has my back. Fucking, that's fucking people who've been in prison for you. That's what happens, right? Right out in the open. And, I think a lot of this shit did happen right out in the open. I think it was so out in the open that it really was, to us, child's play. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm not dumb. Like, what the fuck? Like, take it away. But eventually, that whole kind of thing, somebody asks you for something and then you say no, and they ask you again and you say yes, because it's people pleasing. Right. And I think that a lot of this, probably a lot of hardship that came on your life was to people please other people. It wasn't about you. Like, you got hit with like, ew, you know what I just saw? A rotten potato. I don't know what the fuck that means, but like, you got handed some rotten ass shit. And like, wow, that's inappropriate. And like, yeah. They got off on that, like they what the fuck? Solo artist, excuse overload with the innocent. This is what I mean. Holy shit. Literally kind of just like spoke through these cards. Like, this was a solo artist acting alone, okay, with all these excuses to hurt innocent things. Excuse overload. Like, I literally did it because sometimes those people, all they do is run their fucking mouth over and over and over and over. And you know what? Actually, this is coming down to when Cappy died, okay, this Hollywood actor that released this pedo gateway, my sister, she watched this video that was kill switched for Cappy after he died from another lady that he used to live with. And she released this video, and it's Isaac going on and on this rant talking about Jim Carrey, okay, saying how Jim went on this rant for 2 or 3 hours saying and describing why he molested children for Hollywood. And Cappy was like, you have no idea how much this guy just went on this rant about, he like raped, like sodomized children. And he was saying that he did it because other people did it. So Isaac was like, you wouldn't believe what this guy was fucking saying to me on the phone. Like, they used to be friends, which I mean, Cappy was friends with a lot of people in Hollywood for a very short time, and then was opened up to the gateway that they work under. And that he thought he was going to be okay with, and then got out of it and then died, right? Supposedly, I don't know what happened to him, or he was taken and held, and who knows what they're doing. Who knows, okay? Like, that's the thing, is like, I don't fuck around with that. Look at this, sitting on top of the deck as I'm describing this story. Someone is harming you, okay? Okay, something is harming you, someone is harming you, and look, at 6 feet underground. Honestly, this could be a message straight from Cappy, okay? You know how I channel the dead. I do quite a bit, okay? Germination station in the back. Honestly, I think the message is like, I almost think that you have learned to just keep your side of it quiet. It's almost better to just be silent. Honestly, that's what I've noticed. Like, I will always fight for this channel. I will always fight for its right. But when it comes to certain things, you will never win. And why even try? Go for the smaller fish, right? That you can succeed with killing. Not the whales that have supersonic themselves to the size of football fields. Okay? Honestly, like we have to pick and choose our battles smart, okay, wisely. And I think that because you're so good at like picking and choosing your battles and what it is that you do, again, to be taunted to steal is, I mean, don't waste your time. Not with me. You know, like the universe could set this whole thing up. And you know what? Actually, you know what this comes down to? I'm getting this story where my sister had this friend back in the day, and they went to like a Home Depot or something like that, and they went and got soil. So you know how you go into the depot first, you pay for the soil, then you come out and you load your truck up or whatever. She just like took extra bags of soil. And my sister was standing there. Like, this was like a 35-year-old woman, married woman, okay? And my sister's standing there, and she's like, I don't know if she said anything. My sister is a Gemini. She stays very quiet, okay? She doesn't speak, although she's talking in her head. And she tells me later, she doesn't really speak, okay, in the moment, okay? In the moment. And I remember when she told me that story, she's like, you wouldn't believe what Beth did at Home Depot today. And I was like, what? And she tells me, she fucking just takes bags of soil. She just puts them in her car. Bitch is fucking driving around in like a $40,000 Jaguar, okay, with like a 50,000 K a year job. And this bitch is stealing $20 bags of soil because she can. Because there's nobody watching the lot. Because they just kind of go on the honor system. You pay and you take for what you pay for. And it's just kind of like ironic to be like, you know, it could have been like there are things that companies put out, especially in the summer, all the time outside. And you're just supposed to grab it and give the money and take it, right? Everybody will see you steal. Everybody. And it doesn't matter if there's nobody around. There are cameras everywhere, and that's why it's High Priestess of Spirit and Win, because it doesn't matter if there's not even a camera there. Something's watching them. Something's always watching them. Okay? Because when she doesn't have the right eyes on you, she does. And when she can't hear you, she can. Right? It's like a team. They work together. Because I would imagine, a lot harder to take down these liars who are doing it in public, like right in front of everybody, stealing things. And you don't think it because of how they look, right? You wouldn't think that, like, just because somebody looks like they have money, just because somebody looks like they're rich, you know, sometimes those are the poorest ones, right? They're just hiding under that one silk jacket or one fur coat that they have, making them look rich, but they fucking aren't, right? They just appear so then they can steal. Well, guess what? You still didn't steal. So congratulations. You know, huge message with this excuse overload. Back to the excuse overload. You know, oh, look at that. It really had something to do with the third eye. Like, I did see the palm of the third eye in my crystal ball. And it comes back to that excuse overload. Like, really? You're going to try and sit there? These people are going to try and sit there and tell somebody that they molested you or they beat you or they treated you badly because other people do it too? Because that's their excuse. Like, I don't really think it's going to be hard to expose them for what they did to you. It just takes time. Right? So now I feel like because you made the oath and you stuck to it, you stuck in your groove and in your grove and you didn't move and you didn't let anything alter you, those should be the ones that are technically rewarded after a very long, hard journey. Right? Right. So, I'd like to thank the crystal ball for her reading today. Also like to thank the magical fortune dice that are pulling through every single reading. These things are so freaky. Oh my God. What have I got lined up right now? Aries with... I gotta learn. Oh, which one is that? I have to learn my signs. I'm still not, I don't know all of the planetary signs. Oh, okay, that is Neptune. Yeah, that's Neptune. Gives us supernatural qualities with the first house and Aries. House of self, your identity. Oh my God, false appearances with Aries. So you're like breaking through some type of false appearance that was put over you, and you're reclaiming your identity. And you know what's so weird that I just said that? Sometimes the readings that I do in the past resonate with current energy. And I put up a reading the other day that said this was the most important reading I've ever done. It's an Aquarius video. And I said, this is the most important reading I've ever done. And it's about reclaiming your identity for reals. And that was an Aquarius video. And this whole thing started with Uranus, who is ruled by Aquarius energy and the internet. And the thing is that so many of us have used the internet to do things, to do magic, to create businesses, to create revenue, right? The internet has changed the world. It has changed the way that we are doing things, right? So, okay. I would hate to cut this short, but I have to go. I have to go eat, and my sister just came home with groceries, and like I'm fucking starved. I haven't eaten anything all day. I've had a really bad few days, so I haven't really been able to eat. So I have to go. I'm getting really lightheaded. Thank you so much, Irene, for kicking ass in the fucking chat today. Like honestly, thank you for helping me keep rid of this. And honestly, like for the most part with these people commenting, I don't even care that the comments there. Like some of it, honestly, like if they keep up and they keep saying stuff, then yeah, delete them. But I honestly don't even care what they're saying because like the font is so small, I can barely see it anyways. So honestly, such stupid people. Like we really got hit today with the energy, and I know why, because the aftershock is the aftermath. People are pissed off today. Like I get that, but that's what happens when you break mad laws. You know, you got to pay the consequence for fucking things that you do with deceit, things you do with the devil, things you do in the dark, things you do with awful energy. Like, so oh my gosh, this is getting bad. I am so hungry. Okay, I gotta go. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you, Irene. Have a good one, girl. I'll text you later.